Harawira talking to Mihi Narangi Forbes earlier this afternoon. Well, I'm rather hoping that Ururoa Flavell, the co-leader of the Maori Party, is on the phone and was listening to that. Tēnā koe te Ururoa, are you there?
Kia ora, John.
Oh, kia ora, nice to talk to you. That sounded to me like an olive branch being extended from the far north. Did you feel like it was coming in your direction?
Yeah, well, Hone has been fairly consistent in his views about wanting to work together. We have a new president. And as Hone says, all three of us go back a fair way to the 70s. We went to school together, and he brings a different approach. And so we'll see where it goes. It's early days.
Yeah, early days leading to where, do you think?
Well, that's to be determined. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge. We know that certainly, as Tuku said, our goal is to secure those 7 seats back under a Māori banner, and that's certainly the Maori Party perspective. That will obviously have some implications in terms of Te Tautokara, because one has signalled his intention to come back into the fray. So we just got to work that through. I mean, like I say, it's early days, and there's nothing, it costs nothing to talk. And our president has taken up the opportunity based on relationships that we've had in the past to open the door up, and we'll see where it goes.
While I was listening to Mihi interviewing Hone Harawira, I just got up the Electoral Commission website and I'm looking at Hone Harawira's electorate, Te Tautokara. It was a bit of a strange election last time because of Mana's alliance with the Internet Party, but if we look at what Hone Harawira and the Māori Party combined did, you got 11,000 votes. Kelvin Davis took the seat for Labour with 9,700 votes. In other words, the votes splitting there cost Hone Harawira the seat. Now, at some level, you and he are ultimately going to regard that as self-defeating, aren't you?
I think that's fair, and that's, I suppose, the point of the discussions down the line. I mean, a lot of things have changed over the last 2 years since that last election, a lot of things. One particular a German gentleman is no longer on the scene. So, we've got to take all that into perspective. Hone has declared his view that he doesn't wish to work with the National Party. That's another part of the scenario. And again, even working with the Labour Party's ruled that out. So, we just got to look at the whole circumstance, and certainly we'll take a lead from our own people. When I say our own people, I'm talking about our own supporters about where things go. But, no cost in opening the door to discussions.
No, absolutely none. Hone Harawira does want to work with the Nats. How do you find working with the Nats? Has it been as constructive and illuminating and successful as you had hoped?
Well, for two people who have to every day interact with 59 people, I think we do pretty well. I mean, a couple of $1 billion over the last 7 years or so. Each year since we've been in government, secured over $100 million each year. This last budget, $130 million. So we've secured, in terms of financial gains, absolutely more money than we'd ever get in opposition. So we're pretty comfortable with that. In terms of policy gains, whānau ora would never have been on the table had we not been in a relationship with the government. The lifting in benefits, the ability for us to allow our children and parents to go to the doctor for lifting that age. I mean, all of those are policy gains. Warm up our houses are all gains that we've been able to secure by way of a relationship with the governing party. Do we have to follow everything they do? No, we don't. Because the relationship that we have says that we can vote against National any point in time, and we have on a number of occasions. The only vote that they do secure from us is the budget, which is all about stable government.
Absolutely.
And so we get the best of both worlds, an ability to get gains, financial and policy gains, but also vote against that or with the government, which all parties do at one point or another.
Okay, one final question. Let's say the election is in September, October of next year. What are the chances, do you think, of the Maori Party and Hone Harawira's Mana Party working together by then?
I'm not too sure. We just got to wait and see how that tracks out, John. I mean, we're pretty focused on securing those seats, because that, at the end of the day, is what we're about. We've got to get those seats to be able to have it and put the Māori Party in a position that allows us to be pretty much having to be asked by either of the major parties or their coalitions to sit with them, because it's a sheer numbers game. Under that scenario, we're to take everything pretty carefully, do the numbers, do the research, and have the discussion based on what is in the best interests of our people. And as we've always said, we will always work with any other party if it's in the best interests of our people to secure gains for them, and the belief that what's right for Māori is right for this country. And under those circumstances, everything's ahead of us.
Te Ururoa Flavell, co-leader of the Maori Party, joining us live.